Have you ever heard the tragedy of League of Legends old lore? No? I thought not. It's not a story Riot would want you to know. The old League of Legends lore had so many personality that many people, including myself, we considered them human. It is ironic. They wanted to get rid of the old lore to have more originality, and then instead they became a World of Warcraft clone and nothing more, devoid of personality and purpose. Is it possible to have these kind of new personalities in the new lore? Not from Riot and the direction they're going to. Good morning, everyone. I hope you're doing great. Today I have a special treat for you all. And everyone who's familiar with MOBA knows about League of Legends. So why don't we talk about the second most desecrated franchise that have ever made, at least in my opinion. So, what's a League of Legends, you might ask? Well, League of Legends is a MOBA, which is basically an arena of 5 heroes / champions / gods, or whatever spin-off they're gonna do, where 5 players of each opposite team try to destroy the Nexus. That's the premise of the game. And yes, it is as average as it sounds. I'm gonna talk about the gameplay in my second part, and I'm gonna do it immediately after I finish this one. Why? Because there are issues that blinded everyone, and I'm surprised no one have touched upon it. So, with no further ado, let's get started. And let's get started by the most underrated thing in League of Legends, the lore. And since in the footage I'm playing as Darius, let's start with Darius, shall we? In the old lore, Darius was a warrior of unmatched power, cunning, and might. Orphaned at a young age, he had to fend for himself and his younger brother, Draven. He gained the title of Hand of Noxus in one of the bloodiest battles between Noxus and Demacia, when his commanding officers wanted to retreat. Enraged at the idea of retreat and this cowardness, Darius cut through his ranks and decapitated his captain, and led his terrified troops to victory. Ever since then, he never lost, not even once. That's the old Lord Darius. That's how a Hand of Noxus should act. What about the new Lord? Well, in the new lore, he didn't earn anything. In the new lore, everything is given to him. Girl that he loves, given to him. Love interest, given to him. Disciple, given to him. Even training and adoring commander was given to him in the stories. He didn't earn a single solitary victory or anything in the new lore. Oh, and near the end of one of the comics, what's it called? Blood from Noxus. That's the one. Blood from Noxus. He fucking cried near the end of the comic when he lost the girl he loves. And the girl he loves was killed by faceless nobody. And he just let her walk off. If he was resembling anything like the Hand of Noxus, he and Draven would cut that faceless nobody to small pieces of shish kebab. Ugh. And you tell me who would win? A guy who cut through the ranks of his comrades and officers and decapitated his captain and gained his title, rightfully his, so. Or some boy who just cries because he lost the woman he loves. Fuck you. Fuck you, Riot. Let's move on, shall we? Let's go with Mundo. Mundo. What have they done to you? In the old lore, Mundo was a mad child. Even at a young age, he seemed to have uncanny abilities to make people suffer, and documented their sufferings. At the age of 5, nearly all the animals in his neighborhood disappeared without a trace. At the age of 13, his parents went missing, and no one saw them ever again. It's not a mystery that Zahn has an unorthodox experiment where everything goes in the name of science. Mundo took these ideas to the next level, experimenting on himself using serum, and his victims have suffered an unimaginable fate that some say worse than death. Beware the mad Dr. Zahn. In his eyes, you are already dead. That's the old lore of Dr. Mundo. That's how terrifying and shivering he was. What about the new lore? Well, they found him in a dumpster, and he seems to endure pain. Also, he's not very intelligent. Fucking terrific, Riot! I'm literally beating a fucking retard! How do you feel about yourself? How far? I really don't understand this. How do you go from a mad scientist who will go at nothing to make the perfect human weapon, or the perfect scientific idea, or whatever you want to call it? I personally call it being a Zahn. Being an outstanding citizen of Zahn. To a fucking retard. And I'm not joking, that's his lore. Go read it, I'm not gonna summarize it. I really don't understand this. How do you miss this out? Out of all the niggling nonsense, you go with the fucking retard? Am I supposed to be impressed or happy of myself because I'm beating a literal retard? Fuck you, Riot. And fuck whoever made that lore. Let's continue, shall we? And let's continue with Thresh. Now, Thresh is a bit different than the previous two characters, because rather than telling us who he is, it's told through a legend. You see, the legend was saying that there was a warden who was kind of a dick and a sociopath. He loved torturing his prisoners, and he loved torturing them in all kind of ways. Hanging, gassing, burning, the explosion, anything you can think of and more. But there was a favorite. Like every good psychopath, he has a favorite method. And that method was his chains. And he loved to walk slowly so the fear can take his victims. They know their end is near, and they know how horrible it will be. Until one day, the prisoners made a revolt and executed Thresh by the chains he holds dear. Unfortunately, he came back as a specter, and now he's more powerful and more menacing than ever. At least that's what the legends are saying. And that's the old Thresh. You see how terrifying it is? And the best part is you don't know. You've been told through legends. What's stopping people from making up these legends? What's stopping Thresh himself from making up this legend? You don't know, and that's part of the intrigues. You need to read, you need to listen, and then you need to conclude by yourself. I love that I have to use my brain for once, Riot. Anyway, what about the new Thresh? Well, the new Thresh is basically a monk who safeguard evil artifact. Evil artifact whispered to Thresh, "Hey, come join us," and Thresh did. That's it. That's literally it. That's how he became Thresh. And that's part of the reason I can't get through the lore. It's like such a downgraded version of the previous ones. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I will get to this point in my second part. Let's end this comparison video with Urgot. Now, Urgot, at least in the old lore, was the highest executioner of Noxus, which can by many considered the highest honors, second only to the Hand of Noxus. But rather than just waiting to execute people, he actually heads into the fray and kills his enemies. Of course, he sustains many injuries throughout his life, which prevented him from being reckless all the time. But he still carried out his pride work of being executioner of Noxus. Sadly for him, his greatest hour was also his greatest failures. You see, in one ambush, he captured the crown prince of Demacia, Javrin IV himself. And before he executed him, Garen swept in and cut the man to pieces. That should have been the end of Urgot. However, thanks to his service to Noxus, they wanted to resurrect him. Of course, even their black magic wasn't powerful enough to resurrect Urgot. So Swain decided to send him to the city of Zan to be resurrected. And now he's more of a machine than a man. He's kind of like Darth Vader, to be honest, in many ways. A gross version of Darth Vader. And tell me that doesn't cool. A cyborg zombie. Which is more than I can say about our new Urgot. And speaking of which, let's talk about the new lore Urgot. Urgot and the new Urgot and the old Urgot have one similarity. They were both the high executioners of Noxus. Until one day, Swain decided he was too good at his job, so he sent him to an ambush. And in that ambush, he got captured by the city of Zan, because of course he would. And Urgot got tortured by some lady that I don't remember her name because she's so goddamn stupid. All I know about her, she loved to torment her prisoners, and she has a sadistic lead. She tried to torture Urgot and break him down, but he was already broken because he didn't anticipate Swain's betrayal. One day, this faceless lady warden got tired of torturing Urgot, and Urgot led a revolt that spread chaos throughout the prison, and he broke free. And ever since then, he thought of becoming more and more stronger. So any weak body limb that he had was replaced by a strong machine. Any limb body he had, he cut it off and put in a shotgun instead. Even his people who were with him, anyone who's weak, he kills them. Because, of course he would, wouldn't he? One day, a soldier from Noxus came to his cell and he's like, "Can I hang out with you because we used to be from Noxus?" Urgot beat him to death for this weakness. And he told all his prisoners, "Make no mistake, I'm not here to lead. I'm here to enlighten." Or some crap, I don't remember. So, that's the new Urgot. You know what I'm trying to say? Riot is literally stealing from the DC universe of Bane. Which it wouldn't be so bad if it's done properly, but it's not at all. The DC Bane is cool. He's one of the few people who defeated Batman. Not only defeated, but also crippled. He broke his damn back. Not many characters can say they did the same. And we're talking about DC. With beings like Darkseid, Yaga Khan, and many more. And you tell me Bane, a regular mortal, did that? That's impressive. Basically what I'm trying to say, the new Urgot and Bane have a lot of similarity. The only difference is, one is a badass and cool, the other is a goddamn moron, and I'm surprised he's still alive. Yeah, and that's it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this video. I'm gonna make a second part and I'm gonna go more in details because I know I haven't talked into the gameplay because I'm saving that for the second part. I'm just giving you a taste of why I hate this game. And you can tell that I'm pretty pissed off at many things that League of Legends have done with the lore. But I'm upset with the gameplay as well, and I'm going that into my second video. If you like this video, please leave a like and tell me what you liked about it. If you hate this video, leave a dislike. It's fine. I just want to know what you think about it. And with that being said, I hope to see you soon and have a great day. Goodbye.